Jenson, why are you so into triathlons?
I started getting into triathlons in 2008 for two reasons. One was because my fitness level, I wanted to improve my fitness level. And two, because I was really struggling in F1. The car wasn't quick and we weren't getting any good results. So it was more of a form of release. And I knew if I trained hard, I could do well. If I didn't train hard, I wouldn't do well. It was more all down to me. And since then, I've got more and more competitive and train harder and harder. And it's also grown because I used to do most of it on my own. But now I've got lots of friends that are into triathlon. A lot of my friends from school in Frome in Somerset, they train with me, we race together, and also we've gained a lot of friends along the way in triathlon. So there's a big group of us called Team Ichiban, and it's so much fun to go away for a few days with those guys and not just race, but just spending time away together.
Also, you mustn't have too much time to do the triathlons if you're racing all the time, so it's kind of an excuse to meet up, I suppose.
Yeah, and I don't come back to the UK that often, so I don't get to see my friends that often. So it's best, it's great that we've got triathlons in common, and they can come over and train in the south of France, or we go to races like we've just been to Berlin to do a half Ironman, and we're all very competitive as well. We're all sort of the same pace. But there's guys that have come from sort of a water polo background, a rugby background, all sorts of different backgrounds that they were good at school and maybe played for the county or whatever, and now they're into triathlon. So it's an addictive sport, and I think with the three disciplines, it gets a lot of people interested in it.
And who won at the weekend then, out of your friends and you?
There was an Austrian guy actually called Tommy Vonak, but I mean he's a world champion in his age group in different distances, and he beat me by a minute. So I was second, but it's not always that way. There are a couple of guys from back in Somerset that will give me a good run for my money.
And now you've got another triathlon to prepare for. Give us a bit of information about that one.
Yeah, well, this half Ironman I did was basically training for My Triathlon, which is July the 14th, and it's at Luton Hoo. We did it last year. It was the first time we did the triathlon, and I've done quite a few around the world. I've been very lucky to experience the races in different parts of the world and different continents, and I've always thought there's something that's probably missing, and so now we have a band, we have a barbecue. It's sort of more of a festival vibe than just a triathlon. I mean, you still get nervous, you still get the adrenaline because you're racing, but it's great because it's a real festival atmosphere, and more importantly, it's to raise as much money and awareness for Help for Heroes. We raised quite a bit of money last year, but nowhere near enough. So we're aiming to raise a lot more money this year.
And why did you choose Help for Heroes initially?
Well, I thought, first of all, because I was very interested about some of the injured soldiers and servicemen being involved in the triathlon. I thought it would be great for them. Obviously a lot of them have been through very difficult times, and it gives them some direction and helps them get back to good fitness. That was a big part of it, and the guys do so much for us, as we all know. So it was important for us to raise as much money as we could, and it's not just raising money, it's raising awareness, and as I said, giving them a target. And there's a few of the guys racing this year, which I'm really looking forward to seeing them compete.
It'll be an amazing day, very family day, I guess. Do you have your family there supporting you, cheering you on? Yeah,
Mum and Dad come, and one of my sisters is taking part this year, Samantha. My other sisters might come along as well, and my girlfriend's taking part. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and you do get very nervous, even someone like me that's raced in so many triathlons, and I think it's because it's got my name on it as well. But the whole of the sports partnership have done a great job of getting everything ready and working hard and trying to make it as good a show and as good an event for everyone. And we want people to enjoy it as a day out, not just a triathlon.
So how can people get involved with the triathlon?
Yeah, well, you can go onto my website, which is jensonbutton.com/triathlon, and you can either enter to take part, or you can find out the information of how to sponsor an athlete or sponsor me.
Huh?
For you, you're doing My Triathlon. That's why you're here.